Hello, my dear friend. Try closing your eyes for a moment and ask your heart this question. When was the last time you truly felt your mind resting, completely free of a single ripple of anxiety? Perhaps it has been a very long time. We often live with a sweet lie that, wait until I solve this trouble, then I will be at peace. Or, wait until life is perfect, then I will allow myself to relax. We keep racing, pretending to be strong, carrying the whole world on our shoulders, and waiting for a perfect tomorrow that inherently never comes. But my dear friend, peace is not a destination at the end of the road. Peace is a return. In the wisdom of Buddhism, liberation does not mean running away from life, but learning how to find stillness right in the eye of the storm. Today, I invite you to walk with me through a journey of 7 healing lessons. I do not promise that after this video all your troubles will disappear, but I promise that if you listen fully, the burden on your mind will become much lighter, and you will find the way back to your heart. Lesson 1. The present is the only safe refuge. We begin with the first lesson, the foundational key to opening the door to freedom. The present is the only safe refuge. Observe closely, what is anxiety really? Anxiety is simply your mind abandoning the home of the present to travel to a future that does not yet exist. You are sitting still in a chair, in a safe room, but your mind is painting terrifying scenarios, imaginary disasters of tomorrow. The danger is that your body cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. When you think of a threat, your heart beats fast. Your muscles tense up as if you were facing a real wild beast. You are wasting precious life energy fighting ghosts. Please engrave this quote in your heart. Anxiety feeds on imagination, but it dies instantly when it touches reality. Whenever a storm rises in your heart, seek the safest refuge immediately, which is the breath. Breathing always happens in the present tense. You cannot breathe the breath of the past, nor can you breathe for the future. Stop. Take a deep breath and tell yourself, right now, right here, I am breathing, I am safe, everything is okay. When you anchor yourself in the breath, you cut off the food source of anxiety. You pull the mind from dark clouds back to the solid ground. The present is the home, the most fortified fortress that no fear can invade. Lesson 2. Acceptance is not giving up. Once anchored in the present, we move to the second lesson, an antidote to internal resistance. Acceptance does not mean giving up. Most of our suffering comes not from the event itself, but from our constant arguing with reality. We scream in our minds, "Why is this happening to me? It shouldn't be this way." It is that fierce resistance that creates deep wounds in the heart. Imagine when you break up with a lover or face failure at work. The sadness is real. But the torment, the refusal to accept the truth, is what kills you slowly. Acceptance here is not you giving up, resigning yourself to the flow of life, or bowing your head weakly. Acceptance is an act of wisdom and courage. It is when you dare to look straight at the truth. Stop fighting against what has been arranged. You say to yourself, yes, this has happened. It is what it is. And now, what will I do next? When you stop arguing with life, you save a huge amount of energy. You create a space to breathe, for the wound to self-heal. Peace does not come when everything goes your way. Peace comes when you accept everything happening as it is. Lesson 3. Not every thought is trustworthy. The third lesson is an important awakening about the relationship between you and your mind. You are not your thoughts, and not every thought is trustworthy. We often make the mistake of identifying ourselves with the voices in our heads. When a negative thought appears, "I am so incompetent," "everyone is judging me," we immediately believe it is the truth. We let those baseless deductions lead us by the nose and control our emotions. But remember this classic image. Your mind is the deep blue sky, and thoughts are just clouds passing by. Clouds can be black, can be stormy, but clouds are not the sky. The sky holds the clouds but is never stained by them. Next time when an anxious thought arrives, practice the labeling technique. Instead of saying, "I am worried," step back and observe, this is an anxious thought. Look at it like an uninvited guest, coming and then going. Tell yourself, this is just a thought. This is not the truth. When you learn to doubt the tragic stories the mind weaves, you will no longer be swept away by them. That is mindfulness, the ability to stand apart and smile watching the stream of thoughts pass by without attachment. Lesson 4. Impermanence. Fear does not last forever. The fourth lesson brings profound comfort to those sinking in depression or prolonged anxiety. Impermanence is the law of all things, and this fear is no exception. When we suffer, the feeling is often so real and heavy that we believe it will last forever. We believe we will never be happy again. But look at nature. Is there any storm that does not dissipate? Is there any night that does not give way to dawn? Human emotions also follow that law of arising and passing away. Every panic attack, every sorrow has its life cycle. It is born, peaks, then recedes and vanishes. No emotion is eternal. Change the way you speak about your condition. Instead of saying, "I am a depressed person," say, "I am experiencing a feeling of depression." Instead of saying, "I am an anxious person," say, "I am observing anxiety passing through me." This change in language helps you not to nail yourself to the pain. Imagine you are standing on the beach, watching waves of emotion crash onto the shore and then recede. You don't need to stop the waves, nor do you need to fear being swept away. You just need to know that no matter how high the current wave is, it will subside, and the sea surface will be peaceful again. Lesson 5. Letting go of the illusion of control. We arrive at the fifth lesson, a lesson for those who always feel the heavy burden of responsibility on their shoulders. Letting go of the illusion of control. The root of most modern anxiety is the need to control everything, controlling the future, controlling others' views, controlling work results. We think that if we worry enough, we will prevent risks. But the truth is, worrying does not stop bad things from happening. It only stops you from enjoying the good things that are present. Life is like a great river. You are the boatman. Your task is to steer your boat most skillfully, avoiding rocks, flowing with the water. But you cannot control the wind direction. You cannot control the amount of rain, nor can you force the river to flow according to your will. Learn to distinguish clearly. What is my part, and what is life's part? Do your best with all sincerity, and then let go of the result. Trust the flow. This letting go brings an immense lightness. You don't need to play the role of the God managing the universe anymore. You just need to be a human, living fully and trusting that life will take you where you need to go. Lesson 6. Be gentle with the anxious voice inside. The sixth lesson is a warm hug for yourself. Learn to speak gently to the anxious voice inside you. We often despise our own weakness. When we see ourselves anxious, we blame ourselves. Why are you so weak? Why are you afraid of this small thing? We turn our mind into a battlefield where we are cruel to ourselves. But do you know, that anxious voice actually has no bad intentions. It is like a frightened child trying to ring the alarm bell to protect you from dangers, even if imagined. Instead of scolding that child, embrace them. Become a kind father, a gentle mother to your own soul. When fear strikes, place your hand on your heart and whisper, "I know you are scared. It's okay. I am here with you. We are safe." The deepest healing comes not from fighting, but from compassion for our own imperfections. Create a safe space right inside you, where every emotion, even the most negative, is allowed to exist and be soothed. Lesson 7. Joy is a daily practice. And finally, to close this journey, we come to the 7th lesson. Joy is not a reward. Joy is a practice. Do not wait until all problems are solved, all debts are paid, to allow yourself to be happy. Happiness does not lie at the end of the road. It lies right by the roadside, in the smallest and quietest things. Practice gathering joy every day like gathering sparkling pebbles. Joy from a hot cup of tea, from sunlight piercing through leaves, from the smile of a stranger. When you actively practice gratitude and presence, you are watering the garden of your mind with good seeds. Gradually, those seeds will bloom, overwhelming the weeds of anxiety. My dear friend, peace is a choice, and you can choose it right now, no matter how big the storm outside is. I hope these sharings will be a small lamp lighting the way back for your soul. Be gentle with yourself, and walk with a light heart. Goodbye and see you again.